Are we live?
We're live!
Hello!
Nobody's here yet!
I'm really far away from the camera this time. For now. I'm going to get closer, a little bit farther into our live stream, but as you welcome yourselves this afternoon, let us know if you need me to talk a little bit louder. And let us know, Rudy decided to hang out in a spot where the Wi-Fi is not as ideal. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Thank you for the kisses. Oh, that feels good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm getting some cow kisses at the moment from my buddy Rudy here, who is just an absolute sweetheart. We have folks rolling in.
We do. Sherry's here.
Awesome. Hello, Sherry.
And I assume other regulars are as well. Oh, there's Janine.
And the Barbarians, I'm sure.
Between one to 5 Barbaries are probably here.
We were going to do some cow and or horse time today. A few of our horses, however, are meeting each other. Oh, thank you, buddy. It's an excellent example of always watch out for cow horns, even when they don't mean any harm, and they're just shaking their head. I know, I got in the way. Right? We were going to do some potential horse time on today's live sanctuary, but they were introducing themselves to one another today, and everybody is very much riled up at the moment. And so we're going to start off here with Rudy, and then we're going to move in to say hello to Benjamin and Blossom. And who knows, we may have a few goat appearances. What do you think? They were getting into some shenanigans over here, eating leaves from the mulberry tree that we're under, and Tigger kept spitting out leaves because he did not like certain leaves. He was very picky about what he was going to munch on today. So we'll see if those guys wander over to say hello as well. But if you have any questions about cows, leave them in the comments. Any questions that perhaps you had wanted to ask on Tuesday's live stream that we didn't get a chance to answer, ask away, and we're going to just kind of freestyle it with the cows here.
Also, Julie says hello.
Hi, Julie! Can we see Rudy all right, Lauren?
We can, yes.
Do we want to try to get a little bit closer and see how that holds up?
Yeah, let's do that. So, folks, sometimes the internet gets a little funny under the trees. So that's why we started here, to make sure we were good. And now we'll kind of ease on down, and hopefully everything will stay fine. Oh, yeah, we want to get much closer to this beautiful, handsome cow.
So this guy, this sweet old guy, is Rudy. And Rudys Story is actually relatively the same as our buddy Amos. So Amos is one of the more famous cows here at the sanctuary. But Rudy was rescued along with him back in 2006. When we do him, bub. And so he is also a teenage dude at this point. Rudy was rescued from the Catskill Game Farm in 2006 when the game farm shut down. And they had, I believe it was over 150 different species of animals between, that's not as louder, bud, between their exotic animal zoo and their petting zoo. And when they were shutting down, all of the petting zoo animals were going to be sent to be killed. Locals who hadn't realized that it was very common practice for all of these baby animals at the petting zoo to get sold to farms for pretty much the same reason every year at the end of the season, when they were older and no longer babies. they were heartbroken to think of all of these babies who were going to be killed. And so a couple of sanctuaries teamed up and were able to rescue a lot of baby farmed animals. We rescued over 200 at the time from the game farm when it closed down. And that's your origin story, isn't it, buddy? Well, sort of his origin story. So, do we have anyone who, I know for a fact that we have folks who have been here on our tours watching right now. If you remember Amos's story and how he might have ended up at the petting zoo, watch out for those horns. I know you mean well, bud. I know. And if you remember Amos's story and how he ended up at the petting zoo, leave a guess in the comments about where you think Rudy's life started before he was at Catskill Game Farm. Lauren's looking at me like she has something to say.
We have a family joke.
Oh, goodness.
What do you call a cow that drinks too much coffee?
A mover and shaker?
Oh,
getting stuff done?
I get it. Okay, I get it. I get what you're going for. The answer here provided is over-caffeinated. Hey! Rudy, what do you think?
He's like, I don't have any calves.
Oh, Benny's here. Hi, Betty.
Hello. Did we have any questions about our buddies here yet?
We don't. Mostly people are just admiring what a handsome cow this is.
All right. Well, then I will tell the origin story of our friend Rudy. And I'm also, before I tell the origin story, I'm going to solicit some guesses about what petting zoos teach us about animals. So I want to know, because I imagine that most of us in our youth have been to a petting zoo at one point or another. And Catskill Animal Sanctuary, we have many, many rescued animals from petting zoos, although we are a sanctuary and not a petting zoo. And we've learned a lot through these rescues about some of the ways that animals live and experience their lives on petting zoos, or in petting zoos. And so we've learned some of the, not so nice sides of what they've gone through. And I'm wondering what you think some of the, maybe implicit, less thought of lessons that you've picked up from your time hanging out at petting zoos as a kid were. And leave some thoughts in the comments below, and we will respond. Lauren was pointing in the background to Tigger rolling. I'm not sure that we want to spin the camera in a less strong Wi-Fi zone, though.
No, I would. Maybe I'll just while folks think about that, maybe we'll just kind of flip it.
Oh. Okay.
Give me 1 sec, because this is very silly and funny. Oh, of course he stopped now. So we are not at 32 right now. For anyone not familiar with that, 32 is our second property. That's a short drive away from the main sanctuary grounds here. So we are just actually kind of in the back part of the sanctuary right now. So our buddy Tigger is here, and he was just being really goofy and rolling around on his back, and it was very, very funny. But now because we're looking at him, he stopped. So, oh well. A couple other goats are hanging around too. Retta's over there. And then I'm sure you've noticed all the various roosters who have been crowing in the background who live in this house right here. Alright, well, we'll flip it back to Caden now.
So, the start of Rudy's life, Rudy is a kind of cow who, actually don't know your specific breed. I think they say Jersey, but I'm not sold that he's 100% Jersey. But Rudy's life would have started on a dairy farm, most likely. So he is the kind of cow who is used in the dairy industry rather than the beef industry. And the easiest way to spot if you're not familiar with cow breeds, the easiest way to look at a cow and say, I think that one might be a dairy breed of cow versus that one being someone who would be found on a beef farm, is to take a look at their body composition. And dairy cows tend to be a little bit taller and larger overall, and have bonier looking hips than a lot of the cows who are rescued from the beef industry, who tend to be short and stocky and a little bit less bony looking. So they're very, very different types of cows. However, Rudy, how much milk have you made in your life? None, because you were rescued as a baby. Also, because he's a boy cow. So, Rudy would have had to have been born at this dairy farm in order for his mom, who's a mammal as well, to make milk. Because we mammals will only make milk if we're pregnant and nursing. So his mom had to have a baby in order to have her body make any milk. But Rudy's body would never be able to make milk, so he wasn't really wanted on this dairy farm. And there was a good chance, like his buddy Dozer, who's in the field all the way out there, and can't actually see him from where we're at right now, but Rudy lives with a friend Dozer, who was sold to a veal farm. What? Oh, Tigger's doing the thing again.
Oh, can I flip it real quick? See if we get him this time. All right, let's see. Oh, there he is. There he is. He is also like snoring.
He's
Kind
doing
of,
his
by the way.
low.
I imagine. Oh, getting up. I imagine the microphone is not picking that up, but it's a very cute sound.
Do you want to try to imitate it, Lauren?
How was that? Was that good?
It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's very much like a moaning, like. Yeah.
Alright, well now we'll flip back to Caden and Rudy. There we go.
Where was I, Lauren? Do you remember? She doesn't.
I'm supposed to be paying attention? I'm sorry. I forgot I was supposed to be paying attention.
She's just a helper.
I'm just a helper. What do you want from me?
This is just going to be our bit now. Yeah. But, Rudy on this dairy farm may have been sold to a veal farm, as most of the calves who are raised for veal. So these are the calves who live only about 6 months and often don't get much exercise so that their muscles will stay really soft and underdeveloped. They tend to be exclusively excess dairy cows, baby boys from the dairy industry primarily. And that would have been Rudy's likely fate had he not been bought by Catskill Game Farm as a baby. But to be in the petting zoo. So he got very, very lucky that he was there the year that the game farm was shutting down. He came to live with us here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary. No affiliation to the game farm. A very, very different place. And about an hour south from where they were located. But, so he's been with us for a good 14 years now, pretty much. Going strong. He's got a little bit of arthritis. He's a bit of an older guy, for sure. But yeah, still kind of just loving and living his life. And doing really well. Right, bub? You're a very, very sweet cow. I've never met a cow I didn't like, but Rudy is one of my favorites, I have to say.
We won't tell any of the other cows.
Well, we'll tell all the other cows that they're also one of my favorites.
Okay, we'll just have to hope they don't watch this video.
Yes. Yes. Did we have any guesses about, or thoughts about what we learned from petting zoos in our culture growing up?
We do. Let me just scroll back a little bit. We have that many folks don't plan beyond babyhood and then find themselves in over their heads.
That's a really good point, is that, petting zoos, I will say, The petting zoos themselves do kind of think beyond the babyhood, but it's in their business plan, and they're largely okay with this idea of rotating through the babies. So yeah, these babies are useful to them when they're babies, not for their full, if you're a cow, 20-year lifespan. And so they're okay with having animals for just 1 year and then sending them to be killed, and often killed and eaten. But a lot of us who go to the petting zoos, and a lot of times when we're being, I guess, advertised petting zoos as this really fun family activity, we're not being shown that side. So although the farmers and the petting zoo owners themselves do kind of know and think beyond, like, what's going to happen at the end of the season, a lot of that is kept from us. And we're really not given that information. And so it's really, really fun, but yeah, we often aren't thinking through, like, what does it look like when Rudy becomes how much are you? You're not 2,000 pounds. You're probably like 1,800 pound adult cow. So he's just under a ton. But I'll say that when he was a baby, he was scoop-upable. Kind of. Not like kitten scoop-upable, but like, he was a little guy. Do we have other guesses? Or thoughts, not guesses, because they're all good.
Yeah, well, tying into that, we did mention that baby animals are purchased every year at petting zoos.
Yeah.
That petting zoos create this image of animals existing just to interact with and to entertain human visitors instead of living on their own terms.
That's a really big one. Yeah.
Very well put indeed. Yeah.
That is actually one of the big things that makes a sanctuary different from a petting zoo. So our animals, sure, we're here to make sure that everybody who lives here at Catskill Animal Sanctuary is safe, and so that means that some of them have to live in specific fields that we've dictated for them. Make sure that everyone gets along together, but they don't have to interact with our visitors if they don't want to. This is very much a interact or socialize on your terms sort of situation. Veterinary interactions are non-negotiable most of the time, although I'd say that a few of them try to have a heavy-hand negotiation with us on it. They're like, I don't want to see the vet. But that's just making sure that they stay up to date on their health. They feel about the vet the way a lot of us feel about the dentist. But you should still go to the dentist. So, yeah, they're free at Sanctuary to choose who they want to interact with. If Rudy wanted to walk away from us right now, Rudy could go ahead and walk away from us, and we'd be like, bummer. You really ruined our live streaming plans for this afternoon. I guess it's time to go say hello to Benjamin and Blossom and see if they want to say hello to us. Because they have a right to say no just as much as we do. And that's a really important part of having a relationship with people that's on a more equal terms. It's a more of a give and take sort of relationship between you and whoever else it is on the other side. What were other thoughts, Lauren?
Yeah, well, in general, the idea of humans making a profit off of the animals.
Yeah.
And also, Pam remembers feeding the animals a lot at petting zoos.
Yeah.
And I remember the same thing, yeah.
Yes, that's very much a very, very real thing. So, you guys you are all coming up with some great thoughts on this. So thank you so much. You're making my job a little bit easier today, and I appreciate it. Yeah, sanctuaries like Catskill Animal Sanctuary, we're a non-profit organization. We're here to do the work of rescuing these wonderful beings and to help them share their stories with the world, so that you guys can be wonderful ambassadors of your species, right? I know it's awful fly season here, but I know. I'm going to go get some fly spray after this, and you're going to run away from me then, but that's going to be non-negotiable. Yeah, we are not here for them to make us money. We are trying to raise money for them, to help them live out good lives the way that they deserve, and the way that so many billions of their species, various species that we rescue here, never ever have that chance to experience. So when we're looking at how to care for them. We're looking at what is in their best interest rather than what's the least we can get away with to make the most amount of profit in the long run. And then the other one where we're feeding animals, this is actually a really, really interesting point because we're encouraging them to hang out with us so that they can get some food. Are you going to leave? Yeah. See? He's going to leave, and that's fine. We're encouraging them to hang out with us so that we can get, so that they can get some food. So it's not really. Ooh, I'm going to move out of the splash zone here because I'm very much, can confirm, am in the splash zone. Just a little bit, but this is why I shower when I get home. Thank you, Rudy. On his terms. Very much on his terms in this situation. It was good talking with ya. Where was I before I got pooped on? Where was I, Lauren? I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what is a visit with the cows without someone pooping on camera? Right? That happens every time. Oh, is he farting?
Oh, we might have missed some of the good noise that was coming out. Yeah.
Caden, do you want to imitate the sound?
I don't.
We imitate all the sounds. All right.
To be fair, this one's, I would look a little goofier than BM Tigger. Donate some money and maybe I'll imitate the guests. Where was I though? I have totally lost my train of thought and I am so...
Feeding the animals?
So sorry. Yes, feeding the animals. Oh, so we're forcing those interactions through feeding, or really, really strongly encouraging those interactions through feeding, but we're also often at petting zoos given the choice of who we want to feed. And so some of the more social, outgoing, healthier, and strong animals get fed and fed and fed and fed and fed. And the shyer, less outgoing, less like weaker, lower on the pecking order animals kind of lag, like, and hang behind and may not be fed enough by the actual caretakers at the end of the day. And so oftentimes we'll actually see some animals not getting proper nutrition because a lot of the bulk of their feeding is expected to be coming from visitors during the day. And so, although, yes, people will certainly give these guys some supplemental meals sometimes, we also see patterns where they're really not getting their individualized healthy diets. This morning, here at the sanctuary, I just cleaned, I don't even know how many dozens of bowls from everybody's individualized breakfasts to make sure that they were getting their specialized food. We do up every meal for everybody and make sure that, you know, each of the horses has their different grain combination. Whoever needs more food because they're on a senior diet versus, you know, like the baby goats who are on their little growing goat diet. Like, everybody's getting what they need, specialized to them. Because we're not feeding them just willy-nilly here. We're giving them their sort of meal plan so that they can live as long and healthily as possible. And I'm thinking what we should do is walk over to say hello to Benjamin and Blossom. How are we doing on time? Or maybe, shall we walk over to say hello to the goats? Because I think we're running out of time to get all the way to Benjamin and Blossom in the corner of their field.
Yeah, and Benjamin and Blossom are way out.
They're where we last saw them a couple of weeks ago on our live stream. And if you haven't seen our live streams before and you want to catch up on them, you can find them really, really easily on our YouTube page, Catskill Animal Sanctuary's YouTube page, where we have them archived, so you can still catch up to them. Okay.
And catch all kinds of nonsense that Caden and I get into.
Oh, so much nonsense.
So much nonsense. And just in case, since I just panned over this, just in case we get any questions about this here, this is a little memorial garden that we have that a longtime supporter helped create. So. Oh, Janine, I think, wants us to just keep going because she says that we should leave our watches at home next time. Hey, Caden, what's that big building behind you?
What could that be? That is our chicken barn, which is going to be done hopefully very soon. We'll be able to move everyone into it. It has been a long work in progress. We're really, really excited about it. It's got like heated floors. It's heated floors, right? It's radiant heating.
Yep.
And air conditioning, and it's just going to be a really, really spectacular climate-controlled environment for our chickens, who are some of the most vulnerable species to the temperature extremes that we experience here in the Hudson Valley. And will generally be a great environment for them. It's still very much under construction, so pardon the fact that it looks like it's under construction. But shall we come a little bit closer so that we can all see, but without having to have me hang out with Violet as the foremost? Because love Violet as we may, she's known to be a bit ornery at times. But you would never headbutt, right, Bartleby?
Oh no, Bartleby's not ornery at all.
No.
No.
What is your leg position, bud?
Yeah, Sherry, the chicken barn there is looking really good. Josh and Rich, our Billions and Grounds guys, have been working really, really hard on getting it done, and they're doing a great job.
And did we have more thoughts, questions, things that I should touch on from our wonderful viewers?
Right now we just have a lot of Bartleby excitement.
Oh yes, he's very handsome.
And we did get a question of if we are open, and we did respond to that in the comments, but just to also say it out loud, we are... Also, Kim, there's a truck behind you coming. We are not currently open, with the exceptions being if you stay at the homestead, which is our guest house on site here. Or if you are a sponsor of an animal, you can schedule a visit to come and visit your sponsored animal.
Yes.
And of course, if that changes, when that changes, we will put that out on all our social media, our newsletter, all that kind of stuff.
And Lauren and I will be dancing for joy.
Yes, we will be welcoming you and be very excited to see you. With like distance hugs, though.
Yes. So if you want to sponsor Bartleby and get in some of these awesome Bartleby cuddles, I think he would you approve? Would you? I think he would approve. He's having a good day. He's having a not so ornery day. Alright. Oh yes, those are the spots.
What a good go. Oh, we gonna get up though?
We might. Yeah.
Might. Do we want to headbutt Caden?
I might get headbutted.
He might also want to mess with the camera. He does like trying to knock the camera over, so.
He's such a good goat. He's a really wonderful dude.
He is a goat.
He's just he's a goat. He's a little bit of a troublemaker, the occasional headbutter, but all around just a really solid dude, huh? Yeah. Oh, are you gonna poop? Are you gonna poop?
Caden gonna get pooped on again?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, possibly. And if you notice here, our buddy is a little bit limpy. He had a leg injury a long time ago, and he's just kind of always had that limp. He's okay, though, and he might be a little bit stiff just from laying down, you know. We all get that way.
He's also, I think, trying to get himself... Oh, he's trying to itch his, scratch his back leg with his mouth. And also to get himself a new comfy lying down spot away from me. So to harken back to where we were at the start of our virtual sanctuary, talking about how they have the choice of whether or not to interact with us, Bartleby has expressed himself plain and clear, which is not to hang out with me at this very moment. But I love you, Bartleby, anyway, and I'm here if you want more head scratches. Alright. Were there more questions or comments that I should get to while we're together?
I don't think so, but we are pretty much out of time. So, folks, as we plug some things like we always do, this is your chance if you have any last questions for today. Get them in now. And then maybe we can also do a little pan over to see everybody else, because
We
They're
do
all
have
just
the whole
chilling.
crew here. Oh my God, Thelma and Beatrice are being precious.
Oh, look at those
So
two.
Thelma is the taller black goat in the back, and Beatrice is the little tiny goat who looks like a cow, but who's also often mistaken for a dog. She's black and white. She's farther back. She's the shortest, tiniest goat we have here at the sanctuary. And now she's not being as cute because she's headbutting Thelma, but they were having a good old snuggle like a second ago.
And they are both very shy, so we're not going to get any closer.
Yeah, they're super quiet. They kind of keep to themselves and to the other goats. But they're also being incredibly sweet. I think right now what we've got going on is definitely a version of affectionate headbutting, which is very, very much a thing amongst goats. But we are going to be back here on Tuesday because we're doing our virtual sanctuary live streams every Tuesday and Thursday. If you want more of us on another day of the week for a birthday party, a family get-together, just a wonderful wake up, have coffee on Sunday morning, and take a virtual tour of Catskill Animal Sanctuary, which honestly, like if I didn't come here every day, I'd probably want to do. I get to do an in-person virtual tour when I feel like it, I gotta say. Or, just on a daily basis. But you can also book your own private virtual tour with us through CAS Live, and I'm sure we're going to leave a link in the comments as well if that is something that you're interested in. But it's not just for your pleasure, for your private family groups, friend groups. You can also bring us to your company meetings through Barnyard to Boardroom with CAS Live, or a virtual field trip for your distance learning or in-person learning class. We are doing those through CAS Live as well, and can adjust our topics and lessons about the residents of the sanctuary to meet your classroom's needs and your grade level needs. Okay. I was trying to see what Lauren was talking about, but and additionally, it's not until September 23rd? Our next cooking class
23rd, indeed.
is September 23rd. It's Vegan Pantry Staples. It is a virtual cooking class, so you don't have to be in New York if you've always wanted to take a cooking class with our Compassionate Cuisine program. We're going to be hitting up all of the vegan staples and teaching you how to make some. We've got a tractor coming, so it seems like an excellent time to wrap up. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week!
Bye, everybody!